Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is Fabrizio Romano confirms green light for Liverpool loan deal. Liverpool have still got vital business to attend to before the summer transfer window closes on September 1st. Not only have the Reds got plans to add Alexander Isak and Mark Guéhi to the ranks, but deals for outgoing players must also be concluded. Costas Tsimikas, 29, joined Liverpool from Olympiacos back in 2020 for around £12 million, spending his time on Merseyside largely as a backup to Andy Robertson. Last season he earned 9 Premier League starts, and featured plenty in other competitions too, but now his time at Anfield is up. Sporting director Richard Hughes signed Milos Kerkez for around £40 million from Bournemouth this summer, meaning Liverpool currently have an abundance of left-backs. Tsimikas, Robertson and Kerkez are the 3 senior options in the position, and something has got to give. Robbo, 31, is highly prized for his leadership abilities and is set to stay at the club through to the end of his contract, which expires in 2026. And now Tsimikas is edging closer to an initial loan deal which will see him join Italian giants Roma. That's according to Fabrizio Romano, who claims the Greece international has expressed a preference to move to the Serie A side. Liverpool have informed AS Roma tonight about Costas Tsimikas now available on straight loan, the Italian transfer supremo wrote on X on Wednesday. Roma are considering whether to proceed and get deal done as they wanted a buy option clause. Tsimikas, pushing a lot as he wants Roma. Romano confirms Tsimikas' Roma deal. The Greek Scouser has become a fan favourite throughout his time at the club but has been left with little other choice than to consider an exit. He will join other Premier League title winners such as Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Jarell Quansah, Kevin Kelleher and Trent Alexander-Arnold as Liverpool departures this summer. Ben Doak and Tyler Morton have also left, for Bournemouth and Lyon respectively. Liverpool's transfer deadline day could take a shocking turn as Fabrizio Romano confirms the green light for a new loan deal. Meanwhile, Manchester City are eyeing a move for a Liverpool legend, and the Reds are targeting a world-class forward, not Alexander Isak. Isak himself has been handed the chance to address the Liverpool transfer saga as the deadline approaches, while insiders reveal Rio Ngumoha's new weekly wage after signing his deal. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our second news is Man City eyeing move to sign Liverpool legend in shock move. Trent Alexander-Arnold's Madrid future already in doubt. Credit to Caught Offside for the original reporting on what could be one of the most surprising transfer sagas of the season. Reports from Spain suggest that Trent Alexander-Arnold may already face uncertainty at Real Madrid, with Dani Carvajal reclaiming his role as first-choice right-back. City monitoring situation closely. According to Caught Offside, Manchester City are now understood to be keeping a close eye on this situation. The Premier League champions have pursued Alexander-Arnold before, both in his Liverpool youth days and again last summer when he became a free agent. City's interest could now intensify if Trent struggles for minutes under Xabi Alonso, having made just 7 appearances so far. Pep Guardiola may well be seeking a long-term successor to Kyle Walker, and the 26-year-old England international fits the profile perfectly. Liverpool fans facing painful prospect. Liverpool supporters were already devastated when their academy graduate ran down his contract to join Real Madrid. As the original article highlights, just imagine the pain for Red supporters if Trent now returns quickly to the Premier League to sign for their rival City. That emotional angle cannot be underestimated. Trent was a central figure in Liverpool's Champions League and Premier League triumphs, and seeing him line up in sky blue would sting for the Anfield faithful. Life at the Bernabeu not always smooth. As Caught Offside rightly points out, it's not always easy to make it at the Bernabeu, where even some of the biggest names and best players have struggled to play as regularly as they would have liked. Alexander-Arnold may already be discovering that reality, and his future in Spain could hinge on whether he can outlast Carvajal in the starting 11. Madrid's long-term plan for him remains unclear, but if the right opportunity arises, the Premier League door may swing open again much sooner than expected. Our view, EPL Index Analysis. From a Manchester City supporter's perspective, this news will feel like an opportunity wrapped in shock. The idea of Trent Alexander-Arnold in sky blue would have seemed unthinkable during his Liverpool years, but football has a way of shifting narratives quickly. Trent, with his technical brilliance and attacking creativity, could provide a very different but equally effective dimension from right-back. The thought of him linking with the likes of Haaland and Marmoush is mouth-watering. Secondly, there's the statement it would send. To prize away a Liverpool legend, even if indirectly, via Madrid, would underline City's pulling power. It would also carry a certain symbolic weight in the rivalry, as one of Liverpool's greatest modern players could strengthen their fiercest competitors. City fans would relish that psychological edge. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our third news is Liverpool eyeing late move for world-class forward, and it's not Alexander Isak. Liverpool weigh Rodrygo move as Real Madrid forward considers future. Rodrygo emerges as late transfer option. Liverpool are assessing the possibility of moving for Real Madrid forward Rodrygo as the transfer window nears its conclusion. With Newcastle United holding firm over Alexander Isak, the 24-year-old Brazil international has been identified as a potential alternative should negotiations with the Magpies fail to progress. Sources indicate that Arne Slot remains intent on strengthening his attacking line before the deadline, despite Hugo Ekitike's promising start on Merseyside. The pursuit of reinforcements comes in a summer where Liverpool have already demonstrated ambition, most notably with the high-profile signing of Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Rodrygo's situation at Real Madrid is increasingly uncertain. Despite his reputation as a decisive forward, questions over his role have persisted under Xabi Alonso. While the manager has publicly underlined the Brazilian's importance, assurances on regular minutes have not been forthcoming. Former teammate Luka Modric has labeled him world-class, but the forward has found himself sidelined at key moments, including limited involvement in the Club World Cup. With no guarantees of consistent selection, Rodrygo is believed to be open to evaluating opportunities away from the Bernabeu. His omission from Brazil's latest international squad, under the management of Carlo Ancelotti, has intensified speculation about his future. With the World Cup on the horizon, Rodrygo is wary of slipping down the pecking order for his national side should his situation at Madrid remain unchanged. Liverpool are not alone in monitoring developments. Manchester City and Arsenal are also attentive to the forward's position, though any move will require significant negotiation. Rodrygo's current contract reflects his stature, with wages rising to nearly £350,000 per week when bonuses are included. In addition, his release clause stands at more than £860 million. Real Madrid are unlikely to expect such figures to be met, but they would demand a substantial fee for a permanent transfer. There remains a possibility that the player could be available on loan, a scenario that Arsenal in particular are open to exploring. Liverpool, however, are understood to be prioritizing clarity on Isak's availability before advancing talks. With the Premier League champions eager to maintain momentum, the club's recruitment team face a pivotal few days. While Slot is encouraged by Ekitike's adaptation, the feeling at Anfield is that one more addition in the final third could prove decisive in sustaining a title defense. Rodrygo's productivity last season, 23 goal contributions across all competitions, underscores why Liverpool, as well as rivals Manchester City and Arsenal, are carefully considering his availability. Should Newcastle's stance on Isak remain unyielding, Liverpool's focus may yet shift towards the Brazilian, who is weighing up his options amid growing uncertainty in Madrid. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our fourth news is Alexander Isak handed chance to address Liverpool transfer as deadline approaches. Liverpool transfer target Alexander Isak has been invited to return to national team action, and his next move could be to provide clarity on his summer of woe following a spat with Newcastle United. Newcastle United forward Alexander Isak may soon reveal his side of the story after declining to play for manager Eddie Howe this season. Liverpool target Isak has agreed to his call-up from Sweden, returning to football duties amidst ongoing uncertainty at St James Park. The missing star could potentially face the press as early as next week, having been requested by the Swedish FA to undertake media duties ahead of their autumn internationals. Whether or not Isak has moved to Liverpool could influence his decision to fulfill these media obligations. However, so far he has complied with all requests from the Swedish FA to return to action and may now have the chance to discuss in detail his decision-making process over the summer. Our sister title Chronicle Live reports that there has been no change in the situation between Isak and Newcastle following high-level discussions between the unsettled player and club executives at his home on Monday. Howe will provide an update on Isak's situation at his press conference ahead of Newcastle's trip to Leeds United this weekend. Swedish newspaper Aftonbladet have described Isak's situation at Newcastle as a protracted conflict. Last week, Isak took to Instagram to post a statement which claimed, "Promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time." However, Newcastle refuted these promises, stating that he is welcome to rejoin training at any time. Isak is waiting to see whether Liverpool will submit a second offer to bring him to Anfield ahead of Monday's transfer deadline. As things stand, he is due to travel to Stockholm to meet up with Jon Dahl Tomasson and start preparing for World Cup qualifying matches against Slovenia and Kosovo. However, the situation could become more complex for Isak when he arrives in his homeland next week, with television crews and journalists naturally eager to intensify coverage of the striker's contentious summer. A source in Sweden revealed to Chronicle Live, Swedish FA officials have promised that Isak will do media. Let's see if they keep that promise. Tomasson, predictably, backed Isak, knowing he requires the striker to be ready for two vital World Cup fixtures. The former Blackburn Rovers manager said, "Nobody knows the big picture." He added, "Alex is a very professional player, a strong character, and he has worked hard. He is a game changer. I have spoken to him several times, mentally he is strong. What we have said stays between us, of course. Can he play 90 minutes? Of course not. I am very happy that Alexander Isak wants to be in the squad. He is a huge player." Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our fifth news is Liverpool could be about to do Manchester City a big favour before transfer deadline day. There is no love lost between Manchester City and Liverpool these days, but the Reds could be about to do the citizens a favour in the last few days of the transfer window. Both Manchester City and Liverpool have been linked with Marc Guéhi, and there's a good chance he leaves Crystal Palace this summer as his contract expires next year. Admittedly, Guéhi is said to favour a move to Liverpool ahead of a switch to the Etihad Stadium. However, despite Guéhi seemingly having made his choice, Man City could still get something out of the situation before transfer deadline day. Crystal Palace will want two new centre-backs if Marc Guéhi joins Liverpool. Should Liverpool get the signing of Marc Guéhi over the line, Palace will have a pressing need to sign a first-team-ready replacement. Indeed, Sky Sports have now reported that the Eagles will look to sign two central defenders if Guéhi departs in the final days of the window. Palace have set their sights on Manuel Akanji, a player who is surplus to Pep Guardiola's requirements. Galatasaray, AC Milan and Bayer Leverkusen are also in for Akanji, but should Guéhi move to Liverpool, Palace may well intensify their interest and spark a bidding war. In a nutshell, Liverpool signing Guéhi could potentially make Palace more interested in Akanji, which increases the chances of Man City selling him for a decent price. Arsenal could also do Manchester City a favour. Guéhi joining Liverpool could make Palace more interested in Akanji, but Arsenal could also play a part in getting City a good fee for the Switzerland international. Arsenal are currently in pursuit of Piero Hincapié and, should he leave Bayer Leverkusen, it'll be them in urgent need of a solid replacement. This, in turn, could make them step up their efforts to sign Akanji from Man City. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few days, as quite a few clubs could end up in need of bringing in a defender like Akanji so close to the transfer deadline. Savinho's future finally seems to be resolved after weeks of speculation. Manchester City are set to keep Savinho, informing Tottenham Hotspur on Wednesday that they have no intention of letting him go this summer. Pep Guardiola would have been surprised that despite the youngster just being 21, he was reportedly keen on leaving City after one season. Savinho was keen to play under Thomas Frank as he felt the former Brentford boss would make him a regular starter, boosting his chances of making the cut for Brazil's 2026 World Cup squad. However, now that the dust seems to have settled and Savinho looks set to continue playing for Manchester City, Pep Guardiola could question his mentality for wanting to join Tottenham in the first place. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ. Our last news is Liverpool insiders reveal how much Rio Ngumoha's new contract will see him earn per week. Rio Ngumoha will be eligible to sign a contract on Friday when he turns 17. Liverpool's academy is one of the most prestigious in England, with the Reds producing top talents that go on to achieve great things. They have also been on a mission over the last few years to poach stars away from other academies, with Ngumoha one of these examples. Chelsea have been left fuming over the youngster's decision and are still demanding compensation, but how much that will be is not yet known. However, what is now known is how much the 16-year-old will be paid each week by Liverpool once he signs his first professional contract, with this expected to be on Friday once he turns 17. His market value has certainly increased exponentially over the summer, suggesting that he might be in line for a hefty pay rise, although that does not seem to be the case. Rio Ngumoha set to be on £1,000 a week at Liverpool. Money can, unfortunately, be the motivating factor in some instances, with this something that makes the world, and especially football, go around. But, Liverpool try to do things a little differently, at least in the academy that is, meaning that Ngumoha will not get the eye-watering paycheck that many may think. According to Daily Mail journalist Lewis Steele, Ngumoha is currently on just £300 a week due to being on a scholarship contract, although this will change on Friday. Anfield insiders are reporting that Ngumoha will earn a modest wage of £1,000 per week, still very little given his talent. The reason for this, however, is quite simple, as Academy director Alex Inglethorpe introduced a wage cap not too long ago, meaning younger players are only allowed to earn just over £50,000 a year. This means that Ngumoha is at the very maximum limit of this for now, although this will likely change very soon should he continue to impress. Inglethorpe also banned cars with engines above 1.3 litres, meaning that if he does eventually pass his driving test, with the winger legally allowed to start taking lessons from Friday, he cannot arrive to training in a big, flashy car. Rio Ngumoha is destined for the top. Ngumoha once said he wanted to win the Ballon d'Or, a statement that seemed to show a little hubris at the time, but he has backed it up when given the chance. Of course, he is nowhere near that level yet and he needs to get into the Liverpool team regularly first, but based on the talent he possesses, he is not far off getting consistent minutes. Coaches at the club have been seriously impressed with Ngumoha in training and in pre-season games, suggesting he is held in high regard. His short cameo off the bench against Newcastle has also only provided further evidence why he deserves minutes this season, suggesting that new wage could be increased in the not too near future. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.